You're such an asshole.
All right, this video is brought to you by The Dad You Never Had. Link to the course below. It's available on Teachable. Here we go. Let me go right through it here. Please give me a quote for email and video stuff and decide when I'm... Well... Yeah, hang on. Did you get payment? Let me make sure I did this right. Take the video. Okay, good. Only use first name, salary, loan amount, anonymous. Let me know how to... I'm not looking at your spreadsheets. I'm not looking... Guys, get them in. Get them quick. Give me the information. Otherwise, if I got to open up spreadsheets and I'm doing it... I had somebody ask me to do like venture capital. Like, hey, can you help us put together a presentation for a venture capital group? I'm like, yeah, you got like $50,000 and go fuck yourself? Also, you were in banking. Hey, can you, like, yeah. Why can't you put it together? Preface, this is proof for the case that you could be successful even with the background and drama of being from a single mom shithole. Anyone that believes otherwise are lazy-ass pussies. And we salute you, sir. Here's the other thing. It doesn't matter where you come from. Mom, dad, broken home, not. I'm a Hispanic, black, I'm female, I'm so oppressed. No, reality is reality. And you either make decisions based in reality or you fail. I'm looking at you, ladies, still majoring in the liberal arts for $180,000. I wonder if women will still make less than men on average for the next 4 years. But you nailed it right here. It's not my fault. It is my responsibility. To the father I needed and the one I never got. Oh boy, I am glad I did the link down below. My name is such and such. I'm a youngish man from California, graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering this December. Bravo to you, sir. Currently have a position as an engineer that starts at $70,000 after I graduate. Long-time listener, but first time with requests. From the past several years, listening to you and others such as Rip Cooper. Oh, not Rich Cooper, not the Canadian. Canada is not a country. Fight me. I have pursued my journey to pursue excellence. Became a tradesman of sorts. Fixed my car, fixed my guns, and ran things around the house. We have the world's history in the palm of our hand. Might as well use it. Body, you lost 80 pounds. Look, dude, I would fall on deaf ears. It would fall on deaf ears. But you should write a book called "Stop Your Bitching and Whining" or something. Because look at you lost 80 pounds. You got a degree in engineering. You came from a broken home. You lost it. Now you're making. It's almost like you got rid of the white girl blood addiction bullshit, and you said, "What's the real world like? Fuck what I want. What's the real world like? This is what it's like. Let's obey by the real world." And you're making progress. I'm not slamming on you. I'm mocking and ridiculing all the other fuckwits in this country and all the other fuckwits globally who think like, bah, bah, bah. And here you are. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's not white. He's like, fuck this. I got one life and I'm going to make it count. And oh my God, he's making money and having progress and success. But I lost 80 pounds, although I still need to lose about 40 more. Mine purchased a multitude of books, including The Prince, Bachelor Pad Economics, The Menu, The Pence Principle. Oh, Randy's book, The Pence Principle, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and more. But I want to Jeep this concise. You mean keep this concise? The question. I watched a video on Valuetainment's Patrick Bet David regarding the next 5 steps. It's a technique to list the next 5 steps you need to make to realize your goal. Mine is of freedom and banging chicks with tiggle bitties. God bless you, sir. God bless America. 1980s America, not modern America when they were tiggle bitties. And based on this, I created my own. Yeah, guys got to have goals. What are your thoughts on these steps? What alterations would you recommend? There isn't a set timetable necessarily. Enclosed, I have a spreadsheet of my estimated monthly expenses for the next year, along with my estimated tax. I'm not going to do your financial advising. My 5 steps: lose the 40 pounds, buy a gym membership, health is wealth. There you go. Yep. Okay. That would be one of the top 5 I'd recommend. Develop my emergency fund. Good. All right. 3, pay student loans. Loan payments don't start till February 2025. And you got a fair amount, but not an absurd amount of loans. So I don't know about that one. I'm not saying don't save up the money to start building a fund to pay them off, but if they don't start for a year and change, there might be other things that you could do in the meantime. So let's put a asterisk on 3. 4, embark on mutual fund, real estate, and ETF investments, including the S&P 500. Okay, but do that through your employer. Let me go back, take a look here. You have, okay, so you're working at 75,000. All right, so, well, let me look at the other 405. Start reconnaissance on financially friendly states and develop my exit strategy. States: Florida, Tennessee, Texas. What about Nevada? What happened in Nevada? Why is Nevada in there? Unless you're on the east side, and that's why you're like Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. Okay. So let's go through them. Yes, losing the weight. You keep that one. Develop emergency fund. That's your very first financial one. And I'd worry more about that before I worry about student loans. And let's revisit why we get an emergency fund. It's not really for emergencies, though it would serve that case. The real reason, especially younger people, need an emergency fund of 3, preferably 6 months living expenses is so that when you go and start your new jobs fresh out of college and you find out your baby boomer boss lied about it, you could say, fuck you, I quit. You don't even say you quit. You just walk away. You get 1 week. If the job duties don't start matching up with the job title and what they said you're going to do, you walk. Because you do not want to work for a bad employer for a year, because then you got a big old gap on your resume. Like, what happened this year? And they're not going to give you a good recommendation, all because they fucking lied. And that's why you have an emergency fund. This is also, by the way, while we're on this topic, let's add some added. This is why you never sign a 12-month lease. If you're moving out of state, away from your network, out of your parents' home, whatever, and this is your first job or just a new job in general, you don't even move your shit out there. You go find the cheapest place you can rent month to month. You bring your suits and some clothes and just barely what you need in your vehicle, and you go and you test it out. And then when you find out they're not a bunch of cocksucking motherfucking baby boomer, come on baby, light my fire, divorced, impoverished assholes, they're like, oh, the job is what you said it's going to be? Fine. Now I'll get a 6-month or a 12 months lease. But that would have saved me so much time and money right there. So those 2 things, emergency fund, and then do not get a 12-month lease. You go in month by month, minimum living, and then see how the job pans out. Then you commit down the road. But if they fucking lie, you walk. And then you're just out 1 month rent. That's it. So I would say yes to number 2. Pay student loans. You got the health. You got your emergency fund. I would say 4 becomes before 3. And the reason is this, is that your employer should have a retirement program like a 401k. And they also should have some kind of matching program. If you don't know what a matching is, you can look it up in Bachelor Pad Economics. But basically, as an incentive to save, your employer will offer a retirement plan. It's called a 401k. Other places they call 403bs, 457s. There's just a 4 in the number. And traditionally what happens is they will match a certain dollar amount, dollar for dollar, or 60 cents on the dollar, up to a certain limit, that if you toss in $1,000 for your retirement program, they will also toss in $1,000. And it's not like, oh, then I tossed in 70 grand and then I got 140 grand. No, there's a limit, but you toss in a certain amount and they match it. That is free money. That should be number one, because you're not going to get 100% rate of return pretty much anywhere else. So I would inquire with your HR director or whoever's in charge over there, ask them about retirement plans. And even if they don't offer, sometimes employers don't offer a match. They'll offer a retirement plan, but not a match. Okay, that's fine. I would still set up a 401k because you get a tax deduction. Which one is up to you? You can look up Roth or traditional. It's in Bachelor Pad Economics, so you can just search it on the internet. It's up to you, but you do get a tax break either when you retire or you get a tax break now. It's up to you. But obviously, because of the tax break that comes with it, that would give it additional priority off you paying off your student loans a year and a half from now. If they don't offer a 401k that has a match, and they don't even offer a 401k, like your employer just doesn't offer a retirement plan, that happens too. Then you go to an IRA, which means individual retirement account. Key letter being I, individual. You don't need an employer. You just go to a brokerage or a bank. You say, I would like to set up an IRA. That's where you basically essentially create your own retirement account. It's not complicated. It's no different than a brokerage account. You buy the exact same stocks and bonds or whatever you want to buy, except you get a tax deduction. Again, either Roth in the future or traditional now. You'll have that option as well. The whole point being, I would start on 4, embark on mutual real estate and ETF investments, including this S&P 500. Now would be the time, if you got the extra money, especially if you get a match, to set up some kind of retirement account. That's what I would do, because you're at least a year and 3 months away from starting to pay off your student loans. Then I don't want you 3 and 5. I like them as well. The reconnaissance is exactly what you should be doing early, but you got that lingering student loan debt out there. So what I would do is I would start, if you can, this is going to be hard, but it's going to make life easier. You got a year and a quarter to pay, before your student loans start coming due. Honestly, to fund both your year and a quarter, to fund your pay back your student loans and to fund your reconnaissance on financially friendly states of development, executive strategy, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas, I would take the next year to work a part-time job and make some extra money. So you're going to work your daytime job, then go become a bartender or something else. Don't overblow it. Don't overdo it. Don't kill yourself. All right. But if you can pick up a bartender shift or something that makes a little bit of scratch on the side over the next year and start squirreling away and saving up money for your student loan payments and your reconnaissance, I think on top of the money you'd already be saving for your emergency fund, you got a lot of expenses going on here. So you got your emergency fund that you got to save for. You're going to start contributing to it. Yeah, you're almost going to have to work another part-time job. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But if you really want to nip this in the bud, if you want to have it done and over with, I would look at the next year like, okay, it's crunch time. Gym, part-time job, and work. This is where you turn into iron. Or no, this is where you turn from iron into steel. You are going to go through the galvanization process. This is where you give it your entire go. And a year goes by, so you work up another 20 grand. All right. You put a big old chunk of that down on your student loan debt. Now you didn't wipe it out, but you put a huge dent in it. And now you can make an extra principal payment on that every month or however you want to amortize that. And then your finances are going to be, I figured out the answer. Right now is recover from school time. While you work, focus on your finances. And instead of doing reconnaissance this next year, just work your ass off, pay off these debts, that kind of thing. But over this next year, start doing reconnaissance digitally. What is it like living in Florida? Where do you want to go in Florida? What about Tennessee? You got the book Reconnaissance Man. You can consult that. But I would start doing research about which towns do I want to go to. What is it like? You only have you only have 3 states listed here, and Texas is pretty big. I'll grant you that. Have you tried other places? What about Arizona? What about? Well, I understand why most people don't want to come to South Dakota. What about Washington State? Not Seattle, Spokane, that kind of thing, Leavenworth. I would start developing a strategy over the year, figuring out where you do and do not want to go, what you can figure out on the internet. Like, oh, yeah, I don't want to go to Miami, whatever, crime and traffic. Here's a town called Melbourne, Florida. It looks quiet and coast-like. Maybe I'll go check out that. If these states are anywhere near where you're living, maybe you could do a weekend tour or something like that. But I would definitely work more, make more money, be prepared to pay off your student loan debts. And then after you've done the research over the internet for a while, you should have a very clear game plan as to I'm going to hit this town, this town, this town, and this town on one trip. And then I'm going to hit this town, this town, this town, and this town on the next trip. Though that would be a year and a half, 2 years away. But yeah, these are good next 5 steps. I'm trying to think if I would recommend anything different. Because, yeah, the gym is the first one. That's without a doubt. So you want the tig old bitties. Emergency fund, that's a no-brainer. Retirement planning, especially if they offer a match. That's free money. That's up there. And then the student loans, yeah, start working at that now. God, you won't be the 40-year-old whiny millennial. You won't be that person. Reconnaissance, you're already considering it, but I think you're going to have to. In other words, when you do reconnaissance, you're going to drop your part-time job and start doing reconnaissance. That's what I'd recommend. If your goal, though, is to take old biddies, yeah, I know you're going to lose 40 pounds, but if you want it more directly, I would just fly out to Vegas. Do not get in Clark County. Prostitution is illegal in Clark County. You have to go outside of Clark County so you can go to Nye County, I think, where Pahrump is, or you can fly into Reno, where there are legal bordellos out there. Depending on how desperate you are, like how much do you want to get laid, I would just do that. You do not have the time. Well, first, notice dating is not anywhere on this list, which is correct. You're 40 pounds overweight. There's no reason for you to waste your time. If you just want to take old biddies, just want to have sex, you can pay for it and it'd be a lot cheaper. And sooner than you think. But it would require a weekend trip out to Nevada. But no, what else would... No, I think you got it, man. You know how to fix your own stuff. The only thing... For a part-time job, hear me out on this. Have you thought about maybe the National Guard or the Reserves or something? That might be something to consider. You get money... a signing bonus and things like that. It is a part-time job. It would pay. It would certainly help your finances. It would give you purpose and camaraderie. Maybe evaluate that. Go research it. Talk to a recruiter. Don't let them talk you into it. I'm just saying talk to a recruiter. See what it's like. 3-4 years stint. I like your ideas. Basically hunker down for the next 3 years, maybe 4. The rest of your life should be pretty easy after that. If you put in the extra work now, you should be on cruise control the rest of your life. And hopefully you get the tig old biddies. Men are such simple creatures. Tig old biddies. You only want one thing. You damn right we do. That's it. I like the Tito truck driving Latino agent in the field. $5. Congrats, Cappy, for publishing your book, and it became the #1 in feminist theory in the first 24 hours of publishing. I'd like to thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I am the #1 feminist author in the United States as of this moment in the past 24 hours. I want to thank everybody for that. It's just so you know, it's not that big of a deal because there's so many subcategories and Amazon. If you sell, what did we? I sold 200 books in 24 hours. So 100 books a day. That will put you in the number one category for a brief moment in time in pretty much any category you pick. I always pick feminism because it's just funny that you're like, oh yeah, I outsell most of the women who got their doctorate degrees in women's studies. That is so sad for them. So sad. I just want to be strong and independent. I roll, therefore I am 5 Canadian. I'm a chapter in the new book. Love the intro. Thank you. I'm trying to remember the intro. It just becomes a blaze. Oh, that's right. When I was in grade school and the teacher told me that men weren't needed, I'm like, okay. Thanks, lady. I'm not. I hope she's alive. Aaron, wouldn't you hope for her to be dead? No, I don't. I want her to be alive to suffer. I want her to be the spinster that she was. Nonstop Dre, 360 for $2. He just needs to pay off a single mom college. Yeah, by the way, to our client, you really ought to go fight. You ought to man up. To be the man that steps up. Kaiser Flash, $5. Good luck comes from those who wait or those willing to get up and get shit done. There is luck. It's whether you show up to be there. What was it? People who succeed well are there when opportunity knocks. You're ready. Like, you're not sitting at home playing video games. Nonstop Dre, $2. Girls. But Cappy, is he 6 foot and likes to spoil girls? No, he's only 5'6", I believe, 5'7". I don't know. Did he say how tall he was? It doesn't. Girls are not on. Boys, listen to old man Cappy, and every old man below will agree with me. If you take 4 years off in your 20s and don't chase the girl, I'm not saying don't ask out a girl. I'm not saying if the girl's right there in the line, you don't ask her out. That's fine because it takes you 5 seconds. You don't go to clubs. You don't go to night. You don't go to bar. You focus on work and getting your debts paid off. By the time you're 25, coast. Well, not coast, but just don't. Oh gosh, don't waste your time at clubs and bars. Christoph and on, $5 generous. Just bought the #1 book in feminist literature. Congrats, Cappy. You're such an ally. I'm here. Actually, I mean, in all seriousness, that book would help women. Because once again, it points out, hey, maybe if you just stop majoring in stupid shit, maybe you'd do better. It's not one feminist book out there helps women. Not a single one of them. It just lies. What we went back to before. Like, does it tell people the truth or does it lie? It all lies. You're so valuable because of the way you were born. I am. Yep, you sure are. And those people suck because of the way they were. Like, yeah, they're not us. They're oppressing us. Why can't I find a man? Nonstop Drake, $2. Trad Cons, he needs to man up, get married, and have kids. No. Men have done more than meet women halfway. It is now time for women to meet halfway and to compel men. Like, do what? Why would I do that? You don't have to take old biddies? Oh, well, I'm out of here then. I'm doing what I want. It's my body, my choice. No, I'm not kidding. What? Why would I do that? Wiz Division Productions, $5 in a similar spot. No clue where I want to live. Thinking about taking my $20K saved up for house down payment, using it for reconnaissance. Wisda, reconnaissance is searching for a home. That's the whole point of reconnaissance, is so you go and find the place you want to live. I think that'd be one of the. I wouldn't spend all 20 grand. I don't think you need to spend 20 grand to travel the United States, but 5-10 would be a very wise expenditure. Then you'd know, and you could start now. Alex Patino, truck driver Latino agent in the field, $10 again. If you join the Army Reserve or National Guard, it's a minimum of 6-year commitment. But if you want cheap health insurance, then you get no pay. All goes to TRICARE. It's 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Okay, so it's 6 years. What else would he have to do? I'm sorry, are girls in the 20s like some amazing thing? Is he going to miss out on something? I know I pretty much did. There were some exceptions to the rule. There were some diamonds in the rough, but by God, the amount of time and effort it took to find them. Marcos Novelli, 10 Brazilian reals. Cappy, your book is not available on Amazon Brazil. Any way to, well, it's not available. Oh, yeah. Any way to buy the digital version elsewhere? Cheers from way south of the border. Give it some time. I do know. Here's what's happening. Different countries have different international trade rules with the United States. And so Amazon, it takes different amounts of time for books to become available in different markets. If this doesn't happen in, like, say, a month or two, let me know, but just give it a little bit of time, and then hopefully it comes out. Otherwise, yeah, that's always been a problem. I can't get it in Mexico. I've even remembered, now I think they can get into Mexico, but I remember times like mailing physical copies overseas because they just couldn't get it. Even Germany, if it's like, look, guys, can you get it's books? We're not selling drugs here. So just, yeah, give it a bit of time, Marcos. It should come in. Haytham Thabit, 279 Canadian. Congrats on the book sales, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you very much. It looks to be on track to sell equivalently to the Book of Numbers, so I'm optimistic about that. And then Cappy can go, and I bought a new water pump. I don't need a new water pump. I got a new water pump, so when the old water pump goes off in 8 years, then I got a new pump that's the exact same pump that I can just exactly take the old pump out, put the new pump on. I don't have to re-engineer the pipes or anything like that. All right, is that it? Oh, one more. Alex Patino, $5. I forgot. If you join the military through Texas, then you become a Texas veteran and you get the Hazelwood Act, which is more college money, full tuition. Well, he's already got his degree, so I don't know. What do you see? That didn't even help you. It just maybe helps your kids. You didn't even use it. One more here. Nonstop Dre, $2. I saw your books in a library. Well, Dre, you being a black man, I need you to go and grab those. You find the most pissed off, middle-aged, spinstery white woman librarian you can there, and you say, get all my books. All my books. Write my name down. I want to file a complaint. Oh. You walk in. You say the magic words to the liberal white woman who's middle-aged, spinster. You say, as a black man, I just... What do you want, master? Do you know who this is? No. This is one of the biggest, most racist pieces of shit. He wrote a book on how to help black men get out of poverty, and he's white. Do you know how insulting this is? And look at this book, Bachelor Pad Economics. This helps people get out of poverty. Look, I'm being serious about this. All you have to do, Dre, is if they got Bachelor Pad Economics, go to the feminist book chapter or women chapter. Go to the women chapter. Have her read the women chapter. They will get rid of my book so fast out of that library. And there will be no free Cappy books for anyone. There will be no library books. Early on, people are like, oh, I saw your book in the library. I'm like, what? I'm like, don't you want it? And they're like, why would I want it in there? What was it in the Middle East you saw it in the library? Or was that domestic here in the U.S.? My Truth, the King. 10 generous dollars. I recommend National Guard of his state, maybe even a nearby red state. National Guard will a lot more occasionally have Title Chapter 10 orders to qualify for sweet GI benefits. You'll learn awesome med skills too. It's more of an opportunity cost question. If we were all to look back at our 20s, we pissed them away. And it was doing really stupid stuff. I mean, really stupid stuff. There was sometimes really stupid stuff. But going bars, looking for girls. Man, if you just spend it in the military and you get a little pension benefit and you get all the VA and then you get your tuition paid for, we'd all be at least a decade ahead. At least a decade ahead if we did that. All right, that's it. Okay, so the links to everything below. The dad you never had. You need guidance and wisdom because your dad wasn't around. You're raised by a single mom or just broken family. Go get that. Available on teachable.com. Bachelor Pad Economics. That's the universal financial advice reference Bible for guys and girls who are brave enough to read it. I don't know. There's other stuff. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.